Hello, friends. I am starting mid-process because I began this page by using up paints left on a palette tray from another page. So that's why I'm kind of jumping right into it. Today is the first day of fall. It is the fall equinox. And so if you are like me and a lot of people in this world, we get very excited about fall. What is it about fall? Well, it's all the smells and the cooler weather and the sweaters and the campfires and the beautiful leaves. So in Northwest Arkansas here, we have not yet had any leaf color changing. This is my backyard, and all the leaves, so many of the trees that are hard to reach the leaves, but I am pulling off a couple of leaves because I'm going to try to experiment with them and use them as stamps. I've seen it done on other people's channels, so I'm going to give it a try, but I don't want to go right directly on my page background because I need to practice and see how well it works. So I'm just going to turn a page and I'm going to use this page kind of as a practice. If I love it, then it'll be a start for the next page. If I hate it, then I will probably just repurpose it and cover it up. Okay, so I am using the color, let's see, it's Deco Art Americana Desert Cactus. It's a pretty green. I really like it. So I spread it on the leaf. I'm using something to press it down. I'm rolling it, making sure it's on there really good, and nothing. So I feel like, with all the tutorials and things out there that make everything look so easy, I wanted to show you that here, I'm with you. Sometimes it just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So I'm trying a second leaf, just pushing it down with my fingers. That one worked okay. Let's give this oak leaf a try. I think I tried to leave like a little bit more paint on it this time. And I'm pressing it down again and... This sucks. Okay. So plan B. I am going to paint both sides of my leaves, and I'm thinking about just using them on my page directly. And I'm wondering if I paint both sides, if it will preserve it from, crumbling and disintegrating into nothing. I did try to stamp it a few more times there. It looks like it kind of improved, but overall, eh. Oh, and I kind of... That actually looks kind of cool right there where I had pressed the leaf. But I put my leaves under some heavy books to make them nice and flat, and they're painted on both sides. So the first thing I'm thinking is actually maybe just using Mod Podge and just putting them on my page. But I don't want to take the risk that they're just going to crumble. I don't know. Maybe if you've used real leaves before on your pages, tell me in the comments if it works. Okay, now I'm using it to trace around, and already I'm like, that is a lame looking leaf. So, okay, now I'm gonna paint it. Okay, I'm switching to a gold marker to trace around, and I'm kind of overlapping. Doesn't it look like kind of pretty to have a little gold edge on the leaf? Who knows? Maybe I will do something with that. In the meantime, I'm also kind of trying to make it look a little serrated or smooth, depending on what the real leaf is like, so that my impression looks kind of realistic. Yeah. So I'm going to go back over that original one with gold just because I think it looks so much better. It makes it pop. It kind of gives it that warm fall feeling. It's shiny, and I like shiny things. Okay, now I'm just going to paint in the other 3 leaves. So while I observe the actual leaf, you can still see the veins and where they're at. So I'm going to draw in those veins with my gold pen. I'm trying to make the tip as fine as it can be. I have 3M and 5M Posca pens. I believe this is the 3M. So I'm trying to make it as fine as I can. Okay, now I have come to use parchment paper almost every time now when I'm trying to decide how I want to write on the page. So I picked a quote about fall. Autumn is God's way of showing us that change can be beautiful. So I'm going over it first with this Sharpie marker that the color is really, really close to that, what is it called? Desert cactus that I painted the leaves with. So I'm starting with that, and then I'm going to go over it lightly with the gold marker to kind of give it some dimension. And if you do this technique, like, don't worry about trying to make it perfect. Just your muscle memory is going to write it almost the same way, and it's okay. You don't actually want to cover up the first time you wrote it. You just kind of want it to blend together. And then I'm using a very fine tip black marker to just make sure that you can read it, so it's not sometimes when you write with something like metallic, you can only read it if you kind of look at it from a certain angle, but I wanted to be able to read it anyway. Okay, so now I am using my leaves as a masking tool because I want to add some detail to the background. And I suppose I could have done that before I even started on my leaves, but I was so excited to try my leaf thing. Anyway, so this is a potato sack that I'm using as a stencil. I discovered that, I don't know, about a month ago, and I thought I like the way that it works out. So I just cut the plastic part out of my potato bag and yeah, use it. And with stenciling, I always tend to use too much, so I'm being really careful to just use very light amount of paint. And then I'm using, again, that the leaves are a masking tool, so I can stamp over them and get really close to the outline of the leaf without covering up the leaf that I want to show. I'm going to use this cute little red Solo cup to make some rings around my page. And I don't know if there's an official name for it, but I like to think of them as coffee stain rings. You know, when you set your mug down and it leaves a ring around the table. I think that was maybe the original ring of circle blob. I'm not making sense. You know what I mean. Okay, so I'm just putting them all around the page. I like to have some of my elements kind of go off the page as well. And again, you can see that I'm using the leaves like a masking tool so that I don't cover up. I'm like creating the background of it. And now, since I already have some gold accents, I'm going to take this Waverly Gold Glitter Paint and paint the inside of each of these circles. So with abstract painting, a lot of times, like, I don't have to color in the lines, and then that way, I think I'm kind of a chicken. It gives me permission to, like, not worry about perfectionism, because I'm not a perfectionist. I don't want that pressure. But I have to say that working on this page, like coloring within the lines of the leaf and Adding this glitter to the center was kind of satisfying. Okay, so I'm going back with a real fine line marker and doing some kind of sloppy circles on the outside. And I'm realizing as I'm doing this that it's creating kind of a water droplet, like rain on water effect, you know, with my circles. Like if a drop of rain fell, you'd get the first plop, and then the rings kind of create this ripple effect. So I love it because I can kind of envision the leaves just floating on water. That wasn't my original intention, but that's kind of what it's turning out to look like, which I really like. I'm just going to add a couple more rings to my circles and make them a little wavier because I want to kind of add to that ripple effect. Real quick before I show you my final review of my page, I just wanted to remind you that anytime you see a video that you like, you can always click on the name of the channel and it'll bring you to the home screen of that channel, and then you can peruse through all the videos to see if there are any others that you like. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you enjoyed watching my process, learned from my successes and my failures. I hope that it inspires you to go make some art and that you'll come back and hang out with me again. Have a blessed day.